this is a subject that I actually think deserves a little bit of nuance. But I will say that I believe that this subject is being manipulated by the media to put you into a weird state of mind. Why experts worry TikTok could add to mental health crisis among U.S. teens. Now, out the gate, replace TikTok with social media, and then in your brain just replace TikTok with social media. There is nothing special about TikTok. The idea that you would ban TikTok and not Twitter is ridiculous. The idea that you would regulate TikTok and not YouTube is ridiculous. The idea that you would try to put any sort of restrictions on TikTok and not Instagram is ridiculous. It's social media that's the problem. TikTok is just one application out of multiple of dozens of applications that cause children to fall into social media dopamine addictions. Okay? So out the gate, just replace TikTok with all social media, and then this article is going to make a little bit more sense, right? And that's why I said this is a little bit of a nuanced conversation. Jerome Yankley said he used to pull all-nighters when he was in college, not studying or partying, but scrolling on TikTok until the sun came up. Hey, I've done the same thing with Twitter. Quote, I saw me not putting effort into my own life, rather just trying to live vicariously through what I'm seeing, said 23-year-old Yankee. He said he lost sleep, his grades suffered, and he fell out of touch with his friends and himself. In 2021, he deleted the app. The positive impact, he said, was obvious. It's so great to be able to be sleeping again starting at midnight. Well, maybe you should go a little earlier. It's great to be able to be up early and be more productive with the sun. Now, this is a great comment. Okay. To be more productive with the sun. Like what? The sun? The sun? We're going to be productive with the sun? What is this fucking shit? Is this some like 18th century poetry? Like, is this like some haiku? Like, we're going to be productive with the sun? You know, what the hell? The sun? Why are we getting the sun involved in here? But anyway. In recent months, TikTok has faced growing pressure from state and federal lawmakers over concerns about its ties to China through its parent company ByteDance. But some lawmakers and researchers have been scrutinizing the impact that the short-form video app may have on its youngest users. Now, again, these are two entirely separate issues, right? You cannot like TikTok specifically because of its ties to China. That's one thing. That has nothing to do with the fact that TikTok is nothing special when it comes to social media. Does anyone remember that Vine bullshit? Does anyone remember that? That was like way less than TikToks ever were. Wasn't that like 5 seconds? Or I don't even know. I never used it. But like, does anyone remember like YouTube Shorts? Like that just started being a thing. YouTube Shorts are not allowed to have anything more than like a minute and a half or whatever, right? Twitter videos are capped out at 2 minutes, right? So the idea that TikTok is something special here is fucking ridiculous. It's garbage. It's made up trash. And combining the issue with TikTok's parent company with the issue of mental health is just, it's not logical, okay? It's just illogical garbage. GOP Rep Mike Gallagher, the incoming chairman of the new House Select Committee on China, recently called TikTok digital fentanyl for allegedly having a corrosive impact of constant social media use. Now again, TikTok is nothing special. Now I know I said this already, and I know if you already go into this and we're going to discuss social media as a whole, this article makes more sense. But I really need to debunk this insinuation that TikTok is a unique evil, right? Twitter is horrible. YouTube maybe is the least horrible. You know, Twitch, horrible. Instagram, my God, Instagram is so terrible. Facebook, horrible. All social media is a net negative at this point. We have found that out. Everyone is more stressed. Everyone has less friends. No one knows how to even socialize anymore. Everyone's at each other's throats all the time. Thanks, social media. What is TikTok, like 3-4 years old? Like, the idea that TikTok is worse than Twitter is a joke. Twitter is a fucking dumpster fire. Instagram is a fucking dumpster fire. The idea that TikTok is any worse than those is a fucking joke. Let's be honest. TikTok is far from the only social platform to be scrutinized by lawmakers and mental health experts for its impact on teens. Top executives from several companies, including TikTok, have been grilled in Congress on the matter. And this week, Seattle Public Schools sued social media companies like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, and YouTube, alleging the platforms have been causing a youth mental health crisis, making it hard for the school system to, quote, fulfill its educational mission. So at least they're actually throwing some interesting stuff in there once again. How do we fix this issue? I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. I don't think we should ban social media. I don't. I think we should reform. First of all, if I were the empress of the world, what would I do? I would immediately destroy all algorithms. Destroy them all. Social media algorithms are trained on hate, division, and again, dopamine. Social media is directly linked to dopamine addiction. You post something, right? You post something. You keep refreshing it until someone responds. Oh, I got 3 views. Oh, I got 3 views. Oh, I know it looks like I'm fucking jerking off here, but this is like, the thumb on your phone. That's what I'm going for. But, you keep doing that. Why? What are you addicted to? The dopamine? Seeing the notification? What happens with social media addiction is you're unable to get the same hit of dopamine for doing regular tasks, such as, I don't know, drinking water. Right? So I would immediately destroy all the algorithms. We don't need algorithms. The only thing we need is a search engine that works. That's it. If you want to search for funny cat videos, you're going to find some funny cat videos. What we need is a search engine that works, proper tagging systems. Remember when YouTube had tags? I mean, they still do, but they're useless. But remember when YouTube had tags? And they actually mattered? You know what I mean? Nowadays, they're useless. Why? Because the algorithm takes precedence over all. And the algorithm, once again, is trained on hate, division, and dopamine addiction. Psychologist Dr. Jean Twenge said TikTok's algorithm is in particular, is very sophisticated and very sticky, which keeps teens engaged in the platform longer. TikTok has amassed more than 1 billion global users. Those users spent an average of an hour and a half per day on the app in the last year. That is insane. But once again, how much time do you spend on YouTube? I do an hour and a half show on YouTube. So, how much time do you spend on Twitter? On Twitch, on any social media. So, quote, a lot of teens describe the experience of going on TikTok and intending to spend 15 minutes and then they spend 2 hours or more. That's problematic because the more time a teen spends on social media, the more likely he or she is to be depressed. And that is particularly true for the extremes of use. Now, why are they going to be depressed? Well, one, they're going to be inundated with unrealistic beauty standards and expectations. For example, especially young girls, they look at things on Instagram, they see, wow, everyone's so pretty all the time, of course, because the algorithm puts people on the top who spend a lot of time using filters, Photoshop, extensive amounts of makeup to acquire unrealistic beauty standards, right? And then young, impressionable teen girls are going to see that and they're going to go like, why am I not that pretty? Now I'm depressed, right? So that's one. And that applies to all the genders, and all that stuff too. But it's especially prevalent in young girl populations. But again, 2, dopamine addiction. When you're scrolling through hundreds of videos or thousands of videos in a day, right? And then each one, is getting that hit of dopamine. You're seeing a little, notification. Oh, someone liked my comment, right? That makes it way harder to feel engaged doing anything else. Cooking food. I mean, do kids even know how to cook food? I don't know. Going to school, filling out a test, learning something, watching a documentary, right? When you are addicted to the dopamine cycles of social media, it creates depression because nothing else can fulfill that addiction. And that is why you need social media, because it is an addiction. You are addicted to the dopamine rush that you get on this social media platform, and it makes the quality of every other aspect of your life worse. And so what are ways to combat this? Well, the first one, mindfulness. Knowing what's going on. When I go on Twitter, I know for a fact that I am wasting my time. I go on Twitter every once in a while just to see what the freaks are up to. Just to see. Get a little, look at the zoo. Go to the zoo for a little bit. That's how I view Twitter. I don't want to get super engaged in Twitter arguments. Now I'll argue on Twitter just for fun. Right? But there are people that literally spend all day arguing on Twitter. There are people that literally, they wake up in the middle of the night just to check whether or not someone responded to their argument on Twitter. Same applies to Facebook, YouTube, etc., right? So again, a lot of people are addicted to this. This is not exclusive to TikTok. TikTok's algorithm may be insidious, but so is Twitter's, so is YouTube's. A lot of these algorithms are insidious. Between 2004 and 19, the rate of teen depression nearly doubled, according to the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. And for teen girls, it's worse. By 2019, 1 in 4 U.S. girls have experienced clinical depression. That's crazy. Now, do I think it's social media exclusively that causes this? No, I don't. I think the world is getting a lot worse. I think people are getting a lot worse. Our systems, our institutions are more obviously propped up in scams than ever. There's a lot of reasons to be depressed. People are poor. People are impoverished. People are unhealthy. By the way, according to the CDC, 96% of kids have gotten COVID at least once. Hey, I don't know, man. I'm sure that's going to take a toll on mental health and physical health. But of course, this data stops at 19, so we'll have to wait and see for that one. TikTok said it has tools to help users set limits for how long they spend on the app each day. TikTok also continues to roll out other safeguards for users, including ways to filter out mature or potentially problematic videos. I love, how do you define that? Potentially problematic. Quote, one of the most important commitments is supporting the safety and well-being of teens, and we recognize the work is never finished, blah, 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 TikTok said in a statement. The company said between April and June of 22, it removed 93.4% of videos on self-harm and suicide from the app before they were ever viewed. 93% of videos on self-harm and suicide? Why is that something to be proud of? Why is this something to be proud of? They're bragging about this. The company said between April and June of 2022, it removed 93.4% of videos on self-harm and suicide from the app before they were ever viewed. That's horrible. That is disgusting. Most videos that people make on suicide and self-harm are geared around prevention. People that hurt themselves and find a way to get out of the cycle and break the cycle might want to make content to help other people avoid the cycle or also get help. Why should that not be allowed to be viewed? Now again, videos on self-harm and suicide. Does that mean people are posting videos of them hurting themselves? Because that's not... When I read on self-harm. You know, it didn't say 93% of videos that feature self-harm or suicide. It said videos that cover those subject matter, which are extremely important. Does anyone else, by the way, and I say this as a suicide attempt survivor, but does anyone else really get fucking pissed the fuck off when mainstream media and tech companies and society writ large try to police how we're allowed to talk about depression and suicide and self-harm? You know, if I talk about suicide, I have to deal with the warnings. Call the suicide hotline. That's most definitely going to call the police on you for sure if you tell them anything even remotely personal. If you're feeling anything. That never helps. I'm sorry. The idea that I'm not allowed to talk about my personal history and story on TikTok because they want to pretend like they're doing something is fucking ridiculous garbage. Ridiculous fucking garbage. Ridiculous fucking garbage. I hate when normies want to police how I talk about my experience. Go fuck yourself. And the idea that TikTok is saying that and bragging about it is hilarious. But teens say it's not the most egregious videos that keep them engaged. It's the content programmed to them in the For You section of the app. It's so curated to you, said Angelica Faustino, an 18-year-old sophomore at the University of Buffalo. 18-year-old sophomore? Damn. I'm impressed. Who says she spends 3 to 4 hours a day on TikTok. It's insane. You can be spending 4 hours a day watching classic movies. You can spend 4 hours a day watching goddamn Stanley Kubrick films. Instead, you're wasting your time on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. These uncultured fucking children these days. These uncultured swine. There's a lot of body checking on TikTok. A lot of people showing off things about themselves that are maybe unachievable. You see if enough times you are like, maybe I should be that way. Jesus. I mean, that's something that, like, might sound okay, but, like, when converted to text, right? When converted to text, you know, you see if enough times you are like, maybe I should be in the, yeah, maybe you should get the fuck off TikTok. I don't know, 18-year-old sophomore at a university, I mean, that makes them sound smart, but I mean, like, you see if enough times you are like, maybe I should, I'm sorry. I don't want to pick on them too much, but I'm just like, at this, like, I would have preferred if they would have used like the brackets and the sick or something so that we could convert that to English, but hey, whatever. For all the concerns, however, there are signs that TikTok and other social networks can have a positive impact on younger users too. The majority of teens say social media can be a space for connection and creativity, according to Pew Research. 8 in 10 teens, ages 13 to 17, say social media makes them feel more connected to what's going on in their friends' lives, and 71% say social media is a place where they can be creative. Now, again, that's the good stuff, and that's why, again, I wouldn't ban social media. The big thing that I have a problem with is the algorithm. I would ban algorithms. I would ban specifically tailored algorithms. I would ban data collection. Every time you load TikTok servers should treat you as if you've just installed the application. Any personalized data collection is going to fuck shit up, and it's going to lead to a lot of problems, and it's going to send people down rabbit holes. Okay, rabbit holes. I'm just saying. So that is the major reform I would advocate for. And in some Generation Z, the generation that has been raised on TikTok, have found unique opportunities on the platform. Hannah Williams spends her time on TikTok running her business, Salary Transparent Street. She interviews everyday Americans about the salary they make at their jobs, providing pay transparency to her nearly 1 million followers. I quit my job in May of 22 to work on my social media page on TikTok full-time because I saw a great opportunity to do something with my career, said 26-year-old Williams. By the way, just saying, 26-year-old, not Generation Z. I'm sorry, that's a millennial. Hey, as a 26-year-old millennial, I'm going to turn 27 soon, but as a 26-year-old millennial, I'm just here to tell you, not Gen Z. Just throwing that out there. I think it's interesting that we can try to use social media to really impact the world for good, she said, and I'm hoping that's what happens. So anyway, If you replace TikTok with social media, this article makes a lot more sense. And it's a conversation that we need to be having, right? We need to openly discuss negative social media patterns, dopamine addiction, algorithms, and how we communicate to each other, and the dehumanization of each other that is fostered on social media. Is TikTok a problem? It's just as a problem as YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. They're all problems. And the main problem is the algorithm. That's pretty much it. Once we tackle the algorithm, I feel like we can then have a way easier conversation about how to move in our society in regards to these things. But anyway, that's it. I don't know if I have anything else to say. That's it.